Sent off. Great start for Walanda Balaza. KishaneThompson now gets into his running. ObliqueSeville left behind.
KishaneThompson got away well. KishaneThompson in control. A team play.
Thompson and ObliqueSeville. KishaneThompson cross to the line. 988.
Thompson now storming forward. KishaneThompson a team play. And they make it safe.
I don't like easy races. I hate them. I don't like going to the small races, the Florida relays.
Jamaica has always been the heartbeat of sprinting, a nation that gave the world Usain Bolt, the fastest man in history, and Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, the queen of consistency. But now in 2025, the island finds itself at the center of another global storm, one unlike anything seen since the golden era of Bolt and Blake. On one side stands KishaneThompson, a quiet assassin who stunned the athletics world with a 9.75-second performance at the Jamaican National Championships, the fastest time of the season and a clear statement that he is ready to chase history. On the other side stands ObliqueSeville, the technician whose story has been one of resilience and steady growth, and who silenced every doubter by dismantling none other than Noah Lyles in torrential rain at the Lausanne Diamond League. For the first time in over a decade, Jamaica is not looking for one savior to carry its sprinting legacy, but is instead staring at a rivalry that pits two countrymen against each other, both capable of being the face of global sprinting. This is not just a race between two athletes. It is a collision of styles, mentalities, and destinies. And it leaves Jamaica with what analysts are calling a golden dilemma. Which one of their young stars will seize the crown when it matters most? For years, ObliqueSeville was the sprinter everyone talked about as talented but unlucky. His smooth stride, technical efficiency, and quick turnover earned him praise from coaches and commentators. But every time he reached the big stage, something seemed to go wrong. At the World Championships, he would breeze through heats only to stumble in semifinals. At national trials, he would shine in early rounds but falter in finals. Many believed Seville lacked the physical durability or the mental toughness to last through the unforgiving rounds of championship sprinting. But 2025 has changed that perception completely. His coaching team tore up the old playbook and designed a new blueprint, putting him in more early season races, testing his endurance across both the 100-meter and 200-meter, and ensuring he sharpened his ability to handle multiple rounds under fatigue. The results have been undeniable. Personal bests in the 200-meter, consistent times under 10 seconds in the 100-meter, and a composure that simply wasn't there before. Seville is no longer the nearly man of Jamaican sprinting. He is a man transformed, a sprinter who has learned from his setbacks and turned them into fuel. What happened in Lausanne wasn't an accident. It was the product of years of frustration being channeled into a reinvention that has now made him one of the most dangerous men on the track. If Seville's story is one of redemption, KishaneThompson's is one of sudden, breathtaking arrival. At just 23 years old, Thompson announced himself to the world with a 9.75 that shook the sprinting landscape. The time was not only the fastest of the year, it placed him instantly among the top 10 performers in history, a rarefied space once thought untouchable outside of Bolt, Blake, and Asafa Powell. But what makes Thompson different is not just the clock, it's the way he runs. Standing tall with a stride pattern that echoes Bolt's, Thompson covers ground effortlessly, his acceleration smooth and his top-end speed seemingly endless. Where Seville grinds with technical precision, Thompson floats with raw power. And yet, for all his brilliance, Thompson remains an enigma. He rarely gives interviews, rarely engages in showmanship, and allows his legs to do the talking. In a sport dominated by big personalities like Lyles, Thompson's silence is deafening. It adds mystery, intrigue, and a sense of danger, because you never know exactly what's coming next. To many Jamaicans, this calmness is not shyness, but supreme confidence, the quiet assurance of a man who knows he belongs among legends. And now, with Seville's rise, Thompson faces not just the world, but a rival in his own backyard, one who is as hungry for gold as he is. If there was one moment that symbolized Seville's transformation, it was Lausanne. On a rain-soaked track under conditions that ruined warm-ups and rattled seasoned professionals, Seville not only competed but dominated. He exploded from the blocks, hit his drive phase perfectly, and held form all the way through the finish line, leaving Noah Lyles, the reigning Olympic champion and America's great sprinting hope, struggling to close the gap. Lyles has built his reputation on his devastating final 40 meters, a weapon that has carried him past the best in the world. But in Lausanne, it looked blunt. Seville's composure under pressure was staggering. Commentators, who expected the Jamaican to crumble in the storm, instead watched him deliver one of the cleanest races of his career. It wasn't just victory, it was psychological warfare. Lyles, a man who thrives on confidence and spectacle, left Switzerland with doubts while Seville walked away with belief. Analysts quickly noted that Tokyo 2025 could feature similar unpredictable weather, meaning Seville has already passed a test many champions never face. In one night, Seville shifted from promising Jamaican sprinter to legitimate global contender, and for the first time in years, Lyles looked like the one playing catch-up. The beauty of this moment in Jamaican sprinting is that Thompson and Seville could not be more different, yet they are destined to collide. Thompson brings raw explosiveness, unshakable calm, and the type of numbers that instantly make him a medal favorite anywhere in the world. Seville brings experience, technical refinement, and a newfound confidence that finally matches his natural ability. Their clash feels inevitable, and Jamaicans are already drawing comparisons to 2012 when Usain Bolt and Johan Blake electrified the world with their head-to-head battles at the Olympic trials. But there is a crucial difference. Unlike then, neither Thompson nor Seville has established himself as the clear leader. This is a rivalry without hierarchy, and that makes it even more thrilling. Every race between them is a question mark. Every head-to-head a potential turning point in the narrative of their careers. The Jamaican public is split, some backing Thompson's lightning-fast rise, others loyal to Seville's resilience. But together they represent a nightmare for every other sprinter on the planet. Their rivalry is not a distraction. It is the catalyst that may push them both beyond their current limits. And in the process, Jamaica may once again redefine what is possible in the 100-meter. Speed alone will not decide this rivalry. The mind will. Seville has always been articulate, but in 2025 his words carry a new edge. He speaks of victory not as a possibility, but as an expectation. He tells interviewers when he will win, how he will win, and why he believes no one can stop him. It is a swagger not seen before, a confidence that suggests he has finally broken through the mental barriers that held him back. Thompson, in contrast, barely speaks at all, but perhaps that is his strength. He lets his times, his 9.75, his smooth acceleration, do the talking. In a sport where self-belief often borders on arrogance, Thompson's silence has become its own kind of intimidation. Rivals don't know what he's thinking, don't know how he will respond under pressure, and that uncertainty is as powerful as any boast. Their psychological approaches are polar opposites, yet both are effective. And when the Olympic final arrives, it may not be the fastest man who wins, but the calmest. The one whose mind is unshaken when the world holds its breath. As the countdown to Tokyo 2025 continues, the world is bracing for a showdown that could redefine sprinting. KishaneThompson and ObliqueSeville are not just teammates, not just rivals. They are forces of nature, each capable of rewriting history. Their rivalry is a gift to the sport, a story of contrasts. Power versus precision, silence versus swagger, raw talent versus refined consistency. For Jamaica, it is the dream scenario, the perfect storm of talent that ensures its sprinting legacy will continue. For the rest of the world, it is a nightmare, because no matter who wins, Jamaica wins. And perhaps that is the most telling part of this story. This is not just about two men fighting for glory, it is about a nation reclaiming its crown. The rivalry between Thompson and Seville is not a sideshow, it is the main event, the battle that will define the future of sprinting. And when they finally line up in Tokyo, the only real question will not be who wins gold, but whether the world is ready to witness history rewritten in real time.